Our today's seminar is all about motivation through innovation. So the key objective of this session is to sow the seed of motivation through innovation. So I request your sincere participation throughout the session, and I think this session will be useful to you for motivating you to invent something in the future, and I wish all of you a bright success for your future. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. As a token of gratitude, I request Dr. Reshmita Killer to felicitate the chief guest, Mr. Senjit Ahira, Product Manager, SAP Labs, Canada, with a memento. Please, ma'am. Please take your seats. Without any further delay, I would like to introduce and welcome the chief guest of today's session, Mr. Senjit Ahira. Mr. Senjit Ahira, a passionate and data-driven product enthusiast with more than 8 years of experience in managing digital products. He has successfully ideated, launched and scaled both B2C and B2B products during his career. He is a PMI ACP CSPO certified professional with experience in product manager, product owner and business analyst roles. He used to solve customer problems with innovative and pragmatic solutions. He creates, scale and optimize software products that matter and create value for the stakeholders and customers alike. Domain expertise in SaaS, software as a service, cloud applications, mobile apps, IoT, Internet of Things, AI and ML and online digital media. His major strengths and skills are product lifecycle management, agile methodologies and Scrum framework, product definition, product and data analytics, SEO and SEM, UI and UX. He is a problem solver, team player, result oriented, leadership and self-starter. So with a huge applause, I call upon Mr. Senjit Ahira to grace the dais and to give the chief guest address. Please, sir.
Hello. Thank you. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here. How's everyone doing? All good? Okay, perfect. So yeah, I've been asked to deliver this speech on motivation by innovation, so I'll do my best. Firstly, before doing that, I would like to thank the faculty for inviting me and the university for having me here. So it's been great. So this entire thing, right, we're doing right now, there's only one purpose for it. I have taken to come up with this presentation. The entire aim is just to help you, and you would be the maximum benefit of it. So I would expect that you just maybe focus for 30 minutes. It won't be a long session. I'll try and keep it as crisp as possible. So 30 minutes is all I ask from you, like your full attention, maybe. And I promise it will be worth your while. It will add some value to you, so maybe when you walk out of this hall by the end of 30 minutes, you might have more a different way of looking at things, hopefully. And yeah, let's hope I'm able to do that. So yeah, so with that we can start. We have a brief agenda in mind. So we'll be looking at, I'll be introducing myself firstly, and you've done a very good job at it, so I'll keep it short. We would move on to why motivation, why is motivation required, and what are the benefits of that. The third thing we would be is, after motivation, what is the next thing? Like what do we do next after getting motivated, and how do we achieve the goal that we have set out to achieve? So I'll be talking about that. Fourthly, I'll be giving you some prescriptive steps as action items as to what you can implement once you step out of the room. These are like certain steps which you can maybe follow based on whatever choice you want to make in your career, and that might help you in the long run. Finally, we can break for question and answers towards the end, and if you have any question and answers and I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. So yeah, we can start with that. Just give me a second. Okay, perfect. So a brief introduction about myself. My name is Sanchit Ahira. I'm based out of Montreal, Canada. It's a city in Quebec, province of Quebec. So I've come here on a vacation. So I wasn't expecting this. This is just a sudden plan. Like Beulah ma'am actually invited me over to give this speech. So I'm very happy to be here. So I'm not very well prepared. It just happened like a few days ago. So whatever comes organically, I'm going to speak my mind. Be as transparent as possible. And I have around 8 years of work experience across 3 countries. So I've worked in Germany for a year and I've worked in Canada for 3 years. Before that, I worked for 4 years in Chennai, in Taramani, Asanda's IT Park. So I've seen a few things. I've interacted with various people from different nationalities. I've been through a few industries. So what I'm trying to do is, my aim is that I want to condense my 8 years of learning into this 30 minutes of presentation and deliver it to you in the best way possible so that you can reap the maximum benefit from it. Okay? So that's the whole point of this. I work for SAP Canada. You would have heard of SAP. When I entered the college, there's this placement banner in which there are many companies. So I noticed SAP is one company in that. So I was happy to see that. They have their main branch in Bangalore, where I think 10,000 people work. I was there on Tuesday actually. I just came from Bangalore yesterday. So SAP is a really good company. I work as a product manager. So my career trajectory has been a bit different. I started off as a computer science engineer as well. I graduated from JPR Engineering College, which is on OMR. I graduated in 2014. So I did my computer science from there. That's where I started. I recently completed my MBA from McGill University in Montreal. So McGill is it's a quite well-known university in that part of the world. So I did my MBA over there. Graduated in 2021. So it's been a long journey. So yeah, but just before I start, right, before I go into the core topic, I just like to say that I didn't have an ideal start to my career. During this placement season, whenever there are placements happening in colleges in the 4th year and stuff, I happened to have an arrear and I couldn't really sit in like the first 2 to 3 companies, Infosys, Cognizant, maybe like 2 to 3 companies. So it didn't really happen for me. I think most of our aspirations are that when the first few companies come in, like we try and get our hopes high that we want to get placed over there. But in my case, that didn't happen, but other things happened. So you can also follow, like, there's no one right way to achieve your goal, right? Multiple ways you can go over it. So this is my brief career trajectory. I've worked in 5 companies, as you've seen over here, across 3 countries. Eventually, I cleared my arrear and I got an opportunity with Full Creative. So this is in Asanda's. I got placed in campus and I joined Full as a Python intern. And that didn't go well to me. I very soon realized that coding is not something which I enjoy doing and I can't do it for the rest of my life. So I was looking for other options which I can pursue. Then Tringaps happened. So Tringaps, which you see over here, I guess you can see it, yeah, 2014, that happened. I joined Tringaps as an associate product manager in 2014, like right after graduation. So I was there for like 2 months in full creative labs and then I went to Tringaps. So that opportunity kind of landed in my plate. Like I didn't plan for it. I would say luck is a big factor in that. I was at the right place at the right time and it so happened that they were looking for freshers right out of college for associate product manager role. I had no idea what a product manager is. For me back then, the trajectory was like, okay, like you start as a software engineer and like you go up your career ladder, become a senior engineer, become an architect. So this is something which I was aware of. I mean, towards the end of this, I want to present alternative career paths as well, so we'll get to that. So I've worked in Tringaps for a few years. Then I moved on to Germany for 1 year. I worked there as a product manager as well. Again, this happened very randomly. I was applying for jobs in Germany, sitting in Chennai. I was being very naive back then, thinking that I'll get a job in Germany. But one of my friends used to work over there and he told me, like, just apply. And then I started applying. I was quite consistent with it. I used to apply for 10 jobs every day, no matter what. And it so happened that one clicked and then they invited me over. They sponsored my flight tickets, they gave me a work permit and stuff, and I worked there for 1 year. So that's something which can happen as well. We'll come to that later. After I moved to Canada, 2019, I worked for Kitco News. It's a media agency company. It's a very well-known company in Canada. And then finally, I moved to SAP Labs, which is this multinational company which most of you would be aware of. So that's the career path which I've been through, right? Again, there's an easier path which I could have taken. Now that I think of it, if I have to reach SAP Lab, which is right now my destination. So there's definitely an easier path to do it, but I wasn't aware of it back then. Right now, when I look back, I can see that, okay, there are a few things which I could have done differently. And so this different career path which I'm talking about, right? I wasn't motivated enough to achieve that particular career path at the start. So what that means is, you need to have, you need to be really academically inclined, you need to do good in your aptitudes, stuff like that, to make sure that you get into a very good company at the start. If that doesn't happen, then it's a bit of a slog to make sure that you get into that very good company. For me, it's been a bit of a slog. I've been through multiple years and stuff. Finally, before I got into SAP, which is this well-known company which everyone knows, right? So that's the journey which I have been through. But again, I would present you some data points based on which you can make that decision as to whether you want to take the tough journey or you want to take the easier journey to your goal or to this dream company which you want to get into. So that's the motivation factor. Okay, so moving on. So the topic is motivation through innovation, right? One question which I would like to ask all of you is, why is motivation important? Why are we talking about motivation? Why is that something which we should aspire for, to have motivation within us? So maybe if someone can answer that. To achieve our dreams. Okay, that's a good answer. Anything else? What should we be motivated for?
Supporting.
Sorry?
Supporting and encouraging.
Supporting and encouraging. Okay, perfect. Anything else? Okay. So supporting and encouraging and achieving our dreams, that's a good answer for sure. So again, motivation is important for sure in life. It leads to consistency and determination. So the key product of motivation is consistency and determination. Those would only come if you have the hunger or the fire in your belly that you want to achieve something. What that something is your goal or your vision in life. Now, again, that's the difference between winners and losers, right? Winners set a target, set a goal to achieve, and then they work towards it. And then that motivation comes from within you, that that's something which I really want. Like, I want to put my blinkers on, like how a horse would do, and just look straight, and that's something which I want, and then I'm motivated to achieve that. We'll come to that. How do you set goals for yourself? So, but again, a good example of motivation would be, it's something which will make you wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning and go out for a run in spite of your busy schedule. Let's say you're trying to get fit, trying to lose weight. The only thing which will make you wake up in the morning from whatever is happening around you, like you've slept late, you have a lot of work pressure, but you still wake up in the morning, go out for a run because you have that goal in mind, you're motivated enough. So motivation is the keyword over here. Let's say you have a exam on Monday and your friends are calling you out on the weekend to go on a road trip to Pondicherry or something. The reason you would say no to them is because you have your exam on Monday and you're motivated enough to get that grade, that CGPA which you're looking for. So that motivation would come from within that, okay, that you have your goal in mind. Like the CGPA is important, I need to get an A grade in my exam. So this is something which I can do away with for now. I don't want any distractions in my life. So that all of that will only come when you're motivated to achieve something. So what exactly are we looking to get motivated for? That's the question over here. So all of you right now, you're sitting here, you're engineering students, right? What is your motivation in life? What is your goal in life? Let's come to that. If someone can talk about it, what is your goal in life right now? Your near-term goal. Anyone? Okay. We all have goals in life, I guess, but do you want to talk about it? Okay, let me talk on your behalf. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel majority of you, your goal would be to get a good job in your placement, right? or get a good job once you're done with engineering, so that all of this hard work which you have done over the past few years, you and your parents and family, you've put in a lot of money, resources, blood, sweat and tears, you want some payback for that, and that payback is to get a good job, a well-paying job which can make you feel happy, your parents happy. I think that should be a good motivation, a good goal, I suppose. So with that goal in mind, we need to, how motivated are you to achieve that goal? Let's come to that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself in terms of being motivated enough to achieve that goal? On a scale of 1 to 10. 6? Okay. Anyone else? Someone can 6. Is anyone like maybe 9 or a 10 over here? Okay. So you mentioned 6, right? Why not 9? Why not 10? Why 6? Okay. Yeah, we'll come to that, but yeah, thank you for contributing to the answer. Again, to be motivated, you need to have a clear goal in mind which you think you can achieve. If this goal is very far away and it's not within your reach, you might think that, okay, no matter what hard work I do, what effort I put now, I might not be able to reach that goal. So then you kind of take a step back and you get relaxed. But if that goal is within your reach and you feel that, okay, if I do these steps, for sure 9 out of 10 times I'm going to achieve that particular goal. That is the clear goal, a tangible goal in mind which is very feasible. That would drive up your motivation. So the whole idea is to set a very clear goal in mind which is very achievable. And how would you measure whether it's achievable or not? Look at people around you, look at the market, look at maybe someone like me to see that, okay, if this guy can achieve it, I can achieve it as well. It's not very difficult. We're not asking you to go on the moon. We're asking, the whole point is to get a decent job, which is very within your reach, right? So, again, it has to be tangible, it has to be clear, and that would make you motivated on your own. Okay, so we'll come to that. Let's start with the why. Have you heard of this concept before? There's an author called Simon Sinek. He wrote a book called Start With Why. I would recommend that to you if you haven't read it already. It's a beautiful book for you to start off with. That will give you a big picture, not just on your career, but also on your life. Start with the why. The question why is at the center of this concentric circle which you can see over here. So it starts with why, then it goes to how, and then it goes to the what. So this why question is very important over here. That would actually determine your goal and your motivation towards it. So again, some of the why questions can be like, why engineering, right? Why not dental? Why not law? Why have you chosen to be engineering students? Do you have an answer for that? You can think about it. Why engineering? Why IT? Why computer science? Why not biomedical? Why not mechanical? Why data analytics, right? So this why, right, it would make you think as to what am I doing? What is the big picture in mind? These are all building blocks, little things towards a bigger picture, a bigger goal, right? Studying, getting grades, doing your viva, doing your practicals, all these things you're doing for a bigger goal in mind. So think of that bigger goal and go through a series of why questions. Have a strong why in life that will drive you, and the how and the what is a byproduct of the why. So once the why is very clear, move to the how to do it and then what to do. So with that, you'll be able to find the root cause. So with the why question, you'll be able to find the root cause of what your goal is in life. And once you have the root cause right, you will find alternative ways to reach it. So again, I'll give you a very simplistic example now that we are over here. Let's say I want to eat biryani, right? Like I'm a big fan of biryani. So I want to eat biryani. So someone might ask me, why do you want to eat biryani? There are two ways to answer it, right? One, either I'm hungry so I want to eat it, or I'm in a mood for it. I like biryani, I want to eat it. So these are two different whys to answer the same question. If I'm hungry, something else can satisfy my hunger. If I'm in a mood for it, then I need to have it. Like even if you give me like fried rice or like parota or something, I wouldn't be happy. I would still want the biryani. So now you see the why over here would make, in a very simplistic question, the why over here would make a difference as to what solution or what an alternative path to the same question can be. Again, once you have the why figured out, the next question would be how. So now that you have decided I want to eat biryani, so then the next question is whether you want to visit a hotel or you want to order it in using Swiggy or something. So the how part of it comes later, the why part of it is very important first. Again, finally we can decide on what type of biryani, what type of hotel, but that is something for a later topic. So again, as you can see, why, how and what. Everything in life, if you look at it from a why, how and what perspective, you will have more clarity, you will have a structured approach to how you want to look at it, and do the same thing with your own goal, right? So your goal is to get a good job. Why is that? Why do you want a good job? Moving on to the next slide, this is quite interesting, it's one of my favorite slides. Let's take a step back. Like you all are doing engineering fine, like you just came off an exam or something, you have assignments, you have homework to do, all that is fine. Take 10 steps back and look at the big picture. In life, try and look at the big picture once in a while so you get a perspective. So there are 4 things which one can aspire for in one's life, right? Yeah. So you have financial wellness, that's something which you want. You have physical wellness, that's something which you want. You have mental wellness, and then you have professional wellness. So these are the 4 broad types of wellnesses which one can aspire for in life to have a good life. So all of these put together would make you happy. Let's say you have 3 of these and not one, your life would be miserable. Let's say you have financial wellness, you have physical, but you don't have mental wellness. You're gone. Like you won't be able to have a good life. So it's very important to look for all these 4 criteria in your life and work towards achieving all 4 of it. Now at this stage it might sound a bit of a daunting task to achieve all 4 of it at the same time, but we'll come to that. Let me give you an example of financial wellness. I have enough money to buy the car of my dreams. So does anyone over here have a dream car in mind which they would like to have at some point? What is it? Sorry? A dream car which you have? Ferrari. Okay, perfect. That's a good dream to have. So let's say you want to buy a Ferrari in life, right? So you need to have money for it. Money is for financial wellness. If you have enough, if you are stable in your financial wellness, you can achieve that Ferrari a bit sooner than someone else who isn't. Physical wellness. If you don't have a chronic disease or any big medical condition, you're totally fit and fine, that means you are physically well. The point is to maintain that for the rest of your life. Mental wellness, I'm happy and satisfied with my exam results. At this point, let's say you get an A grade, you get a good GPA, you're satisfied with your exam results. You're happy at this point in time. You're satisfied. Adds to your mental wellness. You get a promotion for your job. At that point in time, you're satisfied. You're mentally well off. Professional wellness, so this is the main thing which we can actually control. Like right now as we speak, professional wellness is something which you can control right from the moment you step outside the room. So again, a professional wellness, an example would be getting a good job, getting a dream job in let's say Google or Apple or Amazon maybe. Getting a good position, getting a good CTC, all of those would actually make sure that you're professionally well off, and that would lead to your other wellnesses. Let me give you this relationship first. So this is like a framework which I heard from one of my colleagues. In majority cases, this is true. Okay, I would say 80% of the cases this is true, and let's go with that for your case. That professional wellness would lead to financial wellness and mental wellness. If you're settled in your job, if you have a good 9-to-5 job, your manager is happy with you, you're getting paid well enough, you can take care of your dreams, aspirations, needs and wants. You can take care of your family, their needs, your mother, father, spouse. You are mentally at peace as well. So professional wellness leads to mental wellness, and it will lead to financial wellness, because then you save up money, you can do your investments, you can get this Ferrari which we're talking about in a later stage. All of that plays a role. So financial wellness and mental wellness would make sure that would contribute to a large extent to your physical wellness as well. Right? So let's start with professional wellness. Everything starts with professional wellness. If your professional wellness is down, your physical, mental and financial wellness wouldn't be in a very good state. Again, so what do we do for professional wellness? Again, so we live in a world where the world is designed in such a way, unfortunately, that people put emphasis on your career. So they judge you by the career which you have, or the kind of job which you have, or the kind of money which you make, right? So that's the sad reality, but then we have to go with it. More often than not, like your parents might be asked, what does your son or daughter do? Where do they work? Or maybe if they're very nosy, they might ask what kind of salary do they earn. So this is the kind of world we live in, and that's, let's face it. So that's a very common question, and that boils down to your professional wellness. So if you have a job in a good company, let's say like you start off your career with a 12 lakh per annum job in like let's say SAP or Microsoft or something, you are off to a good start. After that, whatever would happen automatically. You don't, that effort which you have taken to get into Microsoft as your first company, that will make sure that the rest of your career would be a bit easy and a bit smooth. But let's say you get into a smaller company, you get like a lesser pay. From there, for you to move up would be slightly daunting. It wouldn't be very difficult, like I have done it. But what I'm saying is your trajectory would be a bit slower. There would be many bumps on the road. So the point is that right now you're at a perfect stage to take control of it and make sure that you get off to a good start. Think of it like power play. Like in cricket, the first few overs of power play, momentum, and you maximize whatever you can before you go into the middle, and there you can like just relax a bit. Same over here, the same concept. Right now you can maximize the power play in your life. So you're at that stage in your life where you can maximize that. As you go forward, it will get more and more difficult to make that shift or to aspire for that bigger job. Again, so there are various trajectories to achieve your goal. So let's say you're over here right now, and this is the finish line, right? The finish line is something which is different for each of you. You will determine what your finish line is. Someone might want that, okay, I have a lot of family wealth, or I have like businesses back home. I don't care much about financial wealth. I want to focus on mental wealth, mental wellness, physical wellness, something. I want to focus on financial. That can be your goal, all good. Someone's goal can be that, hey, I need to work really hard and make sure that I get a good job and I make my parents happy, I contribute back home and stuff like that. So that's your choice. So you decide your finishing point. Your starting point is all the same. You're right here, right now. That's your starting point. And again, the goal between your the path between your starting point and finishing point can be different. And so this is the straightest linear path which you can take. This is the best case scenario. Otherwise, you can take a topsy-turvy trajectory to achieve the same goal. Over here, I'm sure people have the same goal. Majority of the people have the same goal in which you want to get a good job, right? Am I right? Okay. In that case, 3 to 4 years down the line, when you talk to each other, you would look back and see that, hey, people have taken different paths to achieve that. Someone got a very good job in the first day of your campus placement. Someone got a job only towards the end of your campus placement in a much lower CTC. And then the journey continues. But you would have different paths and different timelines to achieve that finished goal. And how, so what path you take depends on what you do right now. Okay? So again, there are two kinds of people which I have seen in life, especially in the past 8 years, right? One set of people are that they work hard now, right now, and build an upward trajectory. So these are the kind of people who would get like very good GPAs, they top the class, they are the ones who get who take part in extracurricular, do seminars, whatever, do courses, do IEEE, paper presentation, all of that, so that they work hard now to aspire for a linear trajectory in life. Or there are second kind of people who work hard later. Right now you are a bit chill in life. Later on, you would have to play catch up to build that trajectory. Because if you want to achieve your goal, you would have to start moving at some point in time. So I've seen this. So in my class, there were all kinds of students were there. Students who studied well, students who studied average, students who didn't study. At some point, everyone, if they have financial or professional wellness in mind, they have to pick up and start focusing on your career. My recommendation is do it now rather than later. The more you do it now, there's a compounding effect to it which will help you in the future. We'll come to that, there's a slide for that as well. So again, you can choose what kind of people, what kind of category you want to be in. Let's say, I would say we are slightly late in this race already. Let's say your dream company is Google, right? It's easier to join Google if you're an IITian, if you're from IIT Bombay or Delhi or something. For us, coming from a college tier which is slightly below IIT, I would say it's a bit more difficult to join Google as a company. Do you agree? Okay, so we are already a bit late in that. Now you can still join Google or Microsoft or Meta. That's not the point. The point is the shortest path which you would have taken is already gone. But what you can do now is play catch up. You can do certain things which we'll talk about towards the end of the presentation, in which you can play catch up so that that goal, you can still achieve that goal. But you need to, again, when I come to cricket terminology, you should increase your strike rate so that at least you reach that target. You have started off, your power play has been bad, but you can still make it up. We'll come to that. Let's say, let's take another example. You want a salary of 10 lakhs per annum, right? Is that a good salary to aspire for at the start of your career? Yeah, okay. So let's say you want a salary of 10 lakhs per annum. Right now, it's not very far. I mean, it's still a goal which you can achieve with the shortest path trajectory in mind. So what you do right now would decide on how you get to it. It's in your hands. So that particular thing is still more achievable than, let's say, maybe getting a job in Google off the front. But if someone can do it, like hats off to them. Again, it depends on multiple factors. We'll come to it. Sorry. So now that we have spoken about a goal and what your goal should be, and like talk about the why and stuff. Oh yeah, so before that, I skipped this slide. There are the 5 whys framework which I have which I have read about. Whatever your goal is, right? Whatever you're doing right now, look at it in terms of 5 whys. So right now, for example, for the first why can be you're studying right now. Why do you want to study? Why is studying important? To get good grades, right? Why is good grades important? Why is good grades important? So you get a good CGPA, that will help you in your placement. Why is a good placement important? To get a good job. Why is a good job important? To get financial wellness or professional wellness. So those 5 whys which we are talking about, look at it in that way. So whatever you're doing now has a ripple effect on what you would end up doing 2 to 3 years down the line. So that's the whole point behind this thing, right? Like make most of what time you have right now, that will determine your trajectory and your goal. So you can apply this 5 whys framework to most of the things in life. I realize we have like a few more minutes. I'll be a bit quick. So again, key ingredients to achieve your goal. Let's say your goal is where you are. Right now you're at the start point, at the finish point. What we have determined right now is there are 2 things which you need. One is motivation. Only then you will be able to be consistent and determined to achieve that goal, be it financial wellness or whatever. Second thing, you need a plan. Both of these put together, you might achieve your goal. A good chance that you might achieve it. This is a very good quote that I like. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So now that you have a goal, you have motivation, now let's talk about coming up with a plan. So how to achieve the goal? Again, I'll break it down into a simple logic over here. This I've seen in most business decisions which I've taken in corporates, right? You have a goal in mind. Let's say right now you have decided that you want to do something and you want to become successful at it. There are three things which can stop you or which can influence that. One is strategy. How do you plan to achieve that goal? What's the plan in your mind? Second is execution. Third is luck. Two out of the three things are in your control. The third thing is not. So for example, let's say you want to get into a good company for your placements. What you would do right now is that the strategy is get a good GPA, build a good profile, resume, improve your soft skills, crack the GD round, crack the interview round, do well on an aptitude. All of these put together is the plan. If I do all of this, I'll make sure that that thing happens, that good company. Let's say Infosys, for example. You want to get into Infosys, you need to do these things. That's something which you can think of. You can talk to people, your seniors who have got placed in Infosys, that what can I do to make sure I get this, make a list of it. Second thing is execution. Execution, again, it comes from motivation. If you're motivated enough, you will be consistent and determined. So execution is just about following the plan again and again and again and again. It's as simple as that. That's execution. Luck. After doing all of this, there's no guarantee you will get the job, but you have done everything in your control. A good example of luck can be that the examiner, the interviewer, like you've done all of this, you've gone to the final interview, the interview didn't happen, materialize because the interviewer is in a bad mood and he asked you some random question and you're gone. That is not in your control. But what you can do is, two of the three things, if you do right, you'll increase the probability of getting that job which you're looking for. Again, there's a saying, control the controllables. There are certain things in life which you can control. Your job is just to control them and do the best thing possible. Everything else you leave it aside. So yeah, I'll skip this. Again, very broadly, you can either do in a company, you can either do engineering, you can join the engineering department, you can join the sales and marketing department, you can join the support and operations, or you can join people management. Very broadly speaking, this is how you can categorize it. Right now, we are well placed for engineering kind of roles and engineering departments. In that, you have QA, you have development, you have architects, you have DevOps, all sorts of things. So this is that thing which I wanted to spend the most time on, but okay, I'll keep it quick. Again, control the controllables. Strategy and execution together would help you reach that goal which you have in mind. There's a saying by Abraham Lincoln that give me 6 hours to chop a tree and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. So right now, before you join the workforce, you are at a good position to sharpen your axe. You have certain tools, build those tools. Those tools, we'll talk about it, but build those tools so that when the time comes, when the aptitude test comes or when that GD comes, you're in a good position to make sure that you achieve it. Again, you're the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. I didn't say this, I got this from someone. Again, surround yourself with people who are driven, who have the similar goals as yours, so that that would help you along the way. So that you'll have lesser distractions, you'll have like a group to go with and achieve that goal together. So you're the average of 5 people you spend your time with. Find your superpower, IQ versus EQ. There are some people who have more IQ, there are some people who have more EQ. See where you fit. Know your strengths and work on your weaknesses. If you're really good with IQ, but your emotional quotient, which is EQ, is pretty low, like your temperament is low, you can't take failure very easily, that's something which you have to work on. So understand yourself, find your superpower, and then when it comes to the interview or something, project that. And I'm good at this is something which I need to work on. Make a schedule and stay consistent. Consistency is what transforms average into excellence. So again, consistency comes from motivation. Why you need motivation is because if you have a bigger picture in mind, you have your goal. Instant versus delayed gratification, this is my favorite concept. Whatever I do right now, right, the result of it would be shown at a later stage. So let's say I'm constantly drink alcohol day in and day out. Right now I'll be fine. 10 years, 15 years down the line, the result would show. So instant gratification is something, if I do now, I see instantly that I see a result for it. Like let's say I go watch a movie, like 3 hours after that I'm happy. But what happened as a result of that is maybe your goal or your long-term target wouldn't have got achieved. So again, delayed gratification. Whatever I do now would pay me dividends in the future. That's the mindset that you want to go with. If you study right now, if you do well in your grade, exams or whatever, at a future stage, you would have delayed gratification because you would get that job which you have been looking for. So there's a price for everything. For people who spend more time, more effort in studying and getting that extra grade, they pay a price. They maybe compromise on their social situation or something, but again, they are more into the delayed gratification mode. Take every action keeping the end goal in mind. So whatever action you do right now, it should lead you towards your end goal. In little things. If that's waking up 1 hour early and doing 1 hour of aptitude, so be it. Okay, this is the final. So again, this is compounding logic, right? 1% better every day. Let's say you don't do any improvement in yourself, you will be at a static. There won't be any improvement in you over a period of time. If you improve yourself 1% every day, you would see that the trajectory would be upwards. For example, if let's say aptitude, right? I keep coming back to it. If you want to do well in your aptitude, do improve 1% every day in your aptitude skills. 6 months down the line, you'll be in a much better off position versus not starting at all. So today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. So right now you're in a very prime position to take control of your life, control the controllables, and think about what you want to achieve and then build a strategy towards it and then execute it. It's as simple as that. There are a few action items. Again, I think we are short of time, so I'll cut down on this. One thing which I would want to make you think about is 90,000 hours of your life you would be spending doing a job which you want to in your career. Let's put it that way. Majority of the cases, 90,000 hours of your time. So make sure you do something which makes you happy, which you're passionate about, and think about it. So these are a few things which you can do to think about it. We will come to that, and maybe I'll send this presentation later. But 90,000 hours, think about it. It's a very big number. So you make sure that whatever you do, you're happy day in and day out. You might be doing well in your career, but are you feeling well? That's the question. You need to feel well for your mental wellness. You need to be happy with what you're doing. If you're good at designing, make sure that you do something around UI, UX throughout the rest of your career. If you're good at coding, then keep that in mind and work towards it. Again, to build a professional career, identify your area of interest, experiment. You might not know whether it's the right thing for you to do. So do it. If you don't like, move on to the next thing. Fail fast, learn faster. Build core expertise on that topic. Let's say you're interested in DJing, right? That's the career you want to do. The 10,000 hour rule is that by Malcolm Gladwell, that you spend 10,000 hours on a topic to gain expertise on that, and then you're a master of that topic. So then you will be ranked among the best DJs. For that, you need to do anything which is in your control right now. So online courses, books and podcasts, networking on LinkedIn, projects, work a lot on projects. Right now, the industry is moving towards projects. They want to see what you have done versus just showing you on your resume that I have this, this and this. So work on projects, put it on GitHub. Even when you go for your first round of campus placements, if you have a portfolio with you with 3 to 4 projects, you're automatically much ahead of everyone else. Finally, get a good CGPA. That I think your professors would agree as well. That is very important, and that will take you a long way. Trust me on that. So build a good CGPA. If you get a lower CGPA, you're already starting off at back foot. You're starting off with a disadvantage. You again have to play catch up. So the point is not to play catch up and increase stress on yourself. Do things which are right for you to do right now. I'll skip this. Again, maybe forever skills are these skills would always be in demand: verbal, written communication, presentation skills, leadership, and emotional intelligence. This will help you climb the corporate ladder faster than your counterparts. So work on these from day one. Yeah, I don't think we have time for Q&A, but finally I would like to end with, if you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down. So by fly, you mean if you want to achieve that goal which I hope you set in your mind after this, give up little distractions which will help you take flight and achieve that goal at a quicker pace in a much relaxed manner. So that's I would like to invite this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words of wisdom. Now I call Dr. Gokul Krishnan, sir, Department of Data Analytics, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. We will end this session with a vote of thanks, actually. So I would like to thank our director, Dr. Ramya Deepak, for providing us a wonderful infrastructure facilities over here. And I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Ramesh, for motivating us and for his constant effort. And also I would like to thank our HOD and other faculty members for putting effort in order to conduct this event in a smooth manner. And last but not least, I would like to thank all the students who are attending this session. I hope when you get out of this room, you'll get motivated towards achieving your goal. And I like to thank our resource person, Sanchit Bhagirao, for accepting our request within a shorter duration of time and coming over here physically to present his lecture. When most of the events are done in online mode, he has accepted a request to come here directly and he has presented it. And I hope you all get motivated by his word or lecture. Thank you all.
The best thing that we have learned from this session is, even though things become out of control, we still have a choice. A choice in the way we see things, a choice in the way we react to things, a choice in the way we become more cautious about our future, a choice in the way we let our circumstances define who we are. At the end, that was the choice you made. With a patience, choose the best among many options. It will define who you are. You will be in a good position. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and being here. Please raise for the national anthem.
Jana